What's up, everybody? Jeremy with Lifted Adventures here. Technical difficulties. You obviously saw me real quickly there. I apologize about that, but this is Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. We're in a different camera mode. Trying some new stuff here, so bear with me in this progression of this. So, thank you guys for hopping on. This is Jeremy's Pedal Power Hour. I am Jeremy with Lifted Adventures, and the way this works is I have special guests on every week, every other week, whenever, and have to do with mountain biking YouTubers, mountain biking pros, and industry leaders of that. So thank you guys for coming on. The way it works is get your questions out there. Obviously, you know who is on here. I'm going to bring them on in just a second, but get some questions out there so that you can get to know my special guest. And of course, bringing it in, I have Kyle Warner on. How are you doing, man?
Hey, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Like I said, everybody, I have Kyle on here, so get some questions out. He is a pro mountain biker, so a lot of people have somewhat. You're a pro, bro. But get some questions out so that you can get to know Kyle and ask him about his YouTube channel, ask him about his racing lifestyle and all that stuff, so you guys can get to him. So yeah, dude, I mean, and you say you're not a pro, but you're a pro, dude. You started a while back. Like, you're one of the out of all the people that I've had on the show, one of the longest mountain bikers that's actually been really deep into the industry. When did you start riding officially?
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. Like, I raced junior downhill for a few years, like when I was, 16, 17, 18. That was when I kind of got started into it. And then I turned pro in 2011 and then have basically been pro ever since 2011. The first couple years of pro basically mean I'm in the pro category getting my butt kicked. But
Yeah.
yeah, after a few years, 2014, I won the North American Enduro Tour Championship. So that was like the national series, and then repeated in 15 and 16. So that was really cool. And
That's
then,
awesome. That's
yeah,
super cool. I just did my second enduro race. Oh, yesterday. Yesterday morning, I did the Bigfoot enduro in Stanley Gap, and
sick.
I have you're a different camera, but I got some good battle wounds up and down my body. I can barely walk. I look incredibly weird when I walk right now, but that's
That's
awesome.
funny.
So you've been doing it for a while, and even
Yeah,
like,
it's changed a lot too. Like
yeah,
when I first started, it was more. Have you ever done like a Super D, or have you heard of a Super D?
I've heard of Super D. I haven't done it. No.
Yeah, so it's like it used to be basically one like 20-minute long stage, top to bottom, and then they kind of started enduro, and that was like cutting that into sections and cutting out a few of the climbs, and
Yeah.
then over the past few years, it's really morphed into like 5 or 6 downhill tracks, and that's when I kind of started to pull back a little bit. I had a really gnarly concussion in 2016 that like took me out pretty bad for like 7 months, and that was when I pulled back a little bit from racing, took a couple years off, and then I've been kind of getting back into it, but mostly doing content creation stuff. And then,
That's
yeah, I
cool.
saw the power of YouTube,
Yeah.
just being at a few of the festivals. And like, it's funny, a pro racer would walk by and no one would say anything. And then you'd see like someone with 4,000
Yeah.
subscribers and they'd
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I
Yeah.
love your
Yeah.
channel.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
So I thought it was funny because the YouTube crowd didn't have like any ego. And that was really refreshing. And then some of the pro guys, who are like not even top guys, like top 30, they had a little bit of an ego. And that always kind of bugged me. So I like the YouTube crowd and I like the YouTube people. And I spent the last like 2 years just trying to figure out how to find a niche in there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
it's been
it's
really cool.
you've really done it. There's very few pros. I mean, I can name a couple pros that have YouTube channels, but they haven't done as good as you have.
Yeah. And it's like, definitely not a competition, but
Yeah,
I think
no.
it's cool. I think what some of the guys are missing is their whole life people have like always kind of cared about who they are.
Yeah.
But this like secret to success for YouTube is like you have to make content where it doesn't matter who you are. Like
Hmm.
the viewer is pulling something away from it. And so I think that's where a lot of the guys maybe get stuck is they don't realize that people don't care about you if they're watching you for the first time. And so I don't know, that's just what I've noticed. A lot of the pro guys are like, hey, check out the day in my life. And you're like, well, I don't know who you are, so I don't really necessarily care about the day in your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah, so we've tried to like be very, I made a lot of those same mistakes when I started. I mean, I grinded hard for like a year and a half, and like in a year and a half went from 0 subscribers to like 3,000, and then just in the past 4 months, it's been like crazy growth.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah,
It's really kicking off. And you started, your channel started pretty much with a lot of POV, and now you're doing these with your girlfriend.
yeah.
You're doing instructional videos, and you're kicking butt at that. That's how I like officially found. I heard of you before,
Yeah, I think you
but
actually reached out to me like a long time ago.
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Once, yeah, and then we were kind of like trying to get it going, and then yeah, then basically like reconnected. So
Yeah.
it's been a crazy transition for
It
sure.
has. Do you think your channel's escalated because of that? Because of doing the more instructionals? Because I see you got people like Rich Drew and obviously Seth and other people who are doing instructional videos, and that's really kicking butt. Do you feel that's what's kind of hit that point on your channel that's escalated it to that?
Yeah, I think we got like perfect, kind of a perfect storm. And it was crazy because like COVID happened and people were looking for, bikes and buying bikes, and the bike industry had this mini boom. And then right when all those people got bikes, like we, with no strategy whatsoever, just like, hey, let's go film a video. And that kind of was a how-to, because April wanted to
Yeah.
learn how to manual. And so, yeah, after we did that first one, like I think it got like 2,000 views, and I was like, dude, that was really good. Like that's
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah.
so then, yeah, we're like, let's do another one, and we did that. And then the third time we did one, it was just like, oh man, like it took off. So it was all just like a lot of things all added together. It's kind of like never one thing, but definitely the how-tos have been really cool. And I think like more than half of the success is April. So that's been really cool. Like she's such a sweetheart and she's such a fast learner. And I think people really like the aspect of learning along with her. And
Yeah.
it's kind of aspirational, but also relatable. So
Well, you're hitting kind of several topics there. You're hitting, instructionals, learning how to mountain bike. You got the mountain biking in there, and now you got a woman
Mm-hmm.
on a YouTube channel that's doing all of those. So you're hitting several points in there. So mine. I look at my numbers and the amount of women who watch my channel. I maybe it's just me, maybe I'm ugly or whatever, but it's so super low. But
Like
all
1% or something.
yeah, less than that. It's like 0.3% are
That's
female.
pretty standard, dude. Like
Yeah.
when I had 4,000 subscribers, it was at 0.7%
Yeah.
of women, and then now it's like about 13%.
You see? Yeah. Incredible. You don't get that.
No, and I don't know. It's been a wild ride, definitely, and I think like I had a lot of guys that helped me along the way and understanding little things. Like Paul the Punter was a huge help, and then like Awesome MTV, Mo and Hannah, they've been like super helpful. Jeff Lanoski, Jeff Kennelweed, like all these guys. Rich Drew has been a huge inspiration. So it's kind of funny, but I took like a year and a half just kind of like, okay, let's see what these guys are doing, let's see what these guys are doing, and then try to just see what makes sense for us.
That's super cool. Yeah. I mean, because I know, like, when I did my race yesterday, I had a girl, a woman, riding up to the first stage with me, and we were talking about my YouTube channel, and I've talked to the other YouTube channels, and she's like, I can't find a good female mountain biker on YouTube, and I mentioned yours, and she goes, you know what? Yeah, that's right, I have, and I've been meaning to go back and watch more stuff. So
That's cool.
it's hitting the point, and that's I think that's what's really sets you off. I'd bring my wife in, but she doesn't like being on camera. So
No, that's been hard. April's been like such a trooper too, because she's been learning this whole time as well and working
Yeah.
full time. So I don't know. I'm super grateful for her because she's
That's
been
awesome.
such a like trooper. And our goal is maybe for next year. We're talking with sponsors right now. That's why we've been so busy lately. Is like just emails all day, trying to get some sponsorships so that she can do it full time next year.
that's awesome. Yeah, you've been like crazy busy,
Yeah,
insane
yeah,
busy.
Yeah, we filmed all last week for a thing with Pink Bike, and then filmed all weekend, and then yeah, today I've just been nonstop on the computer and phone calls and trying to get ready for winter season too.
Yeah.
Like I work with a brand called SnowGo.
Okay.
They do like these snow bike things, so
Oh,
helping get
yeah.
some of the shops set up around here, and
Sweet.
it's been wild, but
I
yeah,
haven't
so-
seen snow in close to 6 years. So
that's funny.
yeah.
I'm kind of jealous actually. Like I don't know if I'm good at snow yet. I need to figure it
Yeah.
out because I've only been living in Idaho for about 3.5 years now, so
Yeah.
it's new to me as well.
Yeah. Don't eat the yellow snow. That's my first suggestion.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And They make what do we do? We would do it every year, and everybody frowned on it because it has raw eggs in it. We'd take a bunch of snow and make snow ice cream out of it. And it sounds disgusting because there's raw eggs in it, but yeah, but that's cool, dude. Well, where do you see yourself? Are you going to continue doing this the instructional stuff on your channel, or?
Yeah, like I think we have about 40 video ideas, so like 40 kind of plans that we want to work through, and then
That's awesome.
after that point, see what's up. But just from my like kind of research and experience, it seems like you have maybe 2 to 3 years on YouTube before people get kind of like burnt out on you.
Yeah.
So, so we got like 2 years worth of plan, and then after that, we'll just see what happens. But
Okay. Well, real quickly, people are saying, is it just me or no video? Please check the video. Can everybody see the video? Hopefully you guys can. If not, you can hear us, and it'll just be one of those type of podcasts. It'll be just fun. But that's super cool. So you're in Idaho now. Is that what you said?
Yeah, in Idaho. So that's been pretty cool. And moved up here for April because she's born and raised here. So that was a big transition, leaving the hometown.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's a big step. Did you guys move there to mountain bike to extend that, or?
No, like she's born and raised here, and so she basically grew up here, and then works for a company called Fly Racing, and they're one of my sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so then after, I don't know, we went to like a big gear launch thing. They were launching like the 2017 gear, and we met there and kind of hit it off. And I was living out of my van at the time and just kept kind of coming back through Idaho. And yeah, it's just kind of spearheaded our relationship. That's
you're not
cool.
You're not dating just so you can get a good sponsor.
No, we've been
of course
together.
not.
We actually bought a house together and everything. So like we're committed into it for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, are you is she thinking about possibly bringing her own channel out here, or is she gonna? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of the goal. Is like we want to have the joint channel and then potentially like 2 separate channels. Also, it's a lot to manage, but if she can do her thing, if she can work on it full time, then we can do the one main channel per week, and then I like doing tech video stuff. Like I'm a huge nerd when it comes to bike tech, so I love that stuff, and I don't want to like maybe pollute our main channel with too much of that because I maybe get into the weeds a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
So that'll be my channel, and then April's channel will be more about like her little adventures because she does everything, and it's crazy. Like snowboard, surf, rock climb, mountain bike, motocross, everything. So I think it'll be fun for people to kind of follow along with her. And we did our first filming for her channel on Saturday, actually at the moto track. So that was really cool.
That's awesome. I might have missed it. Did you just did you tell her channel yet?
No, it's hard to find. Like, dude, if you don't have a lot of videos posted,
exactly.
It's impossible to find. But it's just April Zastro.
Okay.
That's her last name, and then I could maybe try to find a link for it. But I know I had to have her send me a link because I couldn't search for it. But once we get the first few videos, it'll be easy.
Awesome. Okay. Well, once I get that, afterwards I'll post that link up in the comment. Where am I pointing? Over there. I'll post it up over there. But yeah, guys, get some. Okay, so the video is fine. Mike was just having an issue with it. Get some questions out, guys. I have Kyle's YouTube channel down below, and you can find him all over the internet. I was when I was researching you and just trying to get more information for this. You've done a lot with Pink Bike. They've interviewed you several times, it looks like, and that's totally cool. I haven't had a kind of lifting you up a little bit more, but I haven't had I've had sponsors or pros on here, but not official big time pros. But that's awesome, dude.
Well, there was a moment there, maybe 2015, where it was kind of like I was one of the next like big up and comer Americans, and so that was really cool. Like, but it was weird. Like, I didn't really ever have any family money growing up or anything. Like, I grew up pretty broke, and so it was hard because I had to make a decision. Like, if I stayed as a privateer, then I could have more sponsors. So I'd have like 10 to 15 sponsors all chipping in a little bit here and there. And I could kind of live off that. Or I had the decision to like sign a deal with a factory team where all your travel and everything's paid for, all your expenses are paid for, but you don't really make much salary. And it was tough because I was riding with my teammate Cody Kelly that year, and Cody got to sign on to Yeti that year, and I had the opportunity to sign on to Yeti to be a EWS racer as well.
Yeah.
But I couldn't afford to, like, because the base salary is only like $5,000, and then they cover all your expenses, and I'm like, dude, I have no money. I'm living alone. We lived in like a abandoned house at the time, like, so I had to kind of do the privateer program, put it all together. But yeah, for a minute there, it was like on a big upward trajectory, and sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I would have been able to like really dive in and do that kind of EWS contract. But
Yeah.
that's I don't know.
That's kind of normal for pros, isn't it? You know, a lot of people don't make it to that level because they just can't afford it.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. Like for a moment there, I think, man, 5 of the top like 7 up and coming US guys all like lived at home with their parents, and they're on the factory, EWS circuit and like racing a ton, but still living at home with their parents. And then I was kind of like on my own at about 17, and so yeah, just not like a sob story or anything, but just didn't have the ability to kind of make that like, okay, I'm gonna make no money this year, but have this huge opportunity. I was always like, well, I need to work and make a little bit, and then that kind of made it hard to take those factory rides. But yeah, I've always been a privateer forever, never had a mechanic or anything, so that was kind of interesting too. That's why I have a love for tech, like going to all these different races and events and trying to set up bikes. And
that's totally
it's really
cool.
fun. I loved it.
Hey, you're working with your hands. I enjoy that too. That's totally cool. So we're gonna start getting some questions from people. Obviously you've done a lot of races. What was your favorite race? What has been your favorite race from Run Bike Mike?
Two.
Yeah.
The first one is the scariest race ever was Megavalanche, which I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah. I already know. Yeah, yep. Tell me. Start with that. Tell me about that one. How is that's nuts.
Yeah. So Megavalanche, for people that don't know, it's a race in France in the Alps, like the Eastern Alps, right next to Switzerland, Alpe d'Huez, and it's a 400-person mass start race. So it sounds like 400 people, that's a lot, but really it's 3,000 people sign up for the race. Then you do all the qualifiers, and the top 400 go into the final. So
really,
you actually have 400 like fast guys in the final. So not just like 400 randoms.
Oh.
So you're in the starting lane, 400 people, and then they just drop the gate. Everyone just rushes down a glacier at 60 miles an hour. So yeah, that was terrifying, but that was probably the race that I took the most out of, because I'd never been able to do a race where I was riding with other riders. And so I saw my strengths and my weaknesses, and I'd pass a guy in a certain downhill section, he'd pass me back on the climb.
Yeah.
And I know it was super, super fun, but really scary. I thought I was going to die like 4 times. So it was that was crazy. I actually went back last year to do the e-bike event, so like the Mega Avalanche e-bike, and I had a bunch of mechanicals in one run. Like I flatted, my crank fell off, my brake lever fell off, like all kinds of stuff. So that was a mess, but I want to go back and try to like redeem that maybe in the next year or 2.
That's crazy. Guys, tell me how his mic is doing there. I'm turning him up a little bit there, but that's I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that race.
Yeah, it's scary, dude. Like I never have been to the top of a race and actually been like kind of shaking and been like, I don't think this is smart. It doesn't look smart at all. I didn't know about that. There's like several thousand people that sign up for it, and then only 400 go through. Yeah, so they have like on Saturday they have a lot of the like amateur kind of events, but everyone gets to race, but only 400 people go to the final.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's crazy. And the way that they do it is in your qualifier, if you get first or second, you get to start on the first line of the final. If you get third or fourth, you start on the second line, and so on up to 26th place. And so I got third in my qualifier, and then so I was second line, really good spot, and I think I was top 10 off the snow, but then had a few bobbles and stuff.
Does that really fun. On that one, does that even matter where you start?
It does, just because carnage. Like
this is
so
so
bad. That I raced it, there was a 150-person pileup right behind me.
Oh my god.
Row 6,
okay,
so
I can see that.
You'd be screwed.
Yeah, I understand that, but what race do you say all that carnage? 150 person carnage.
Yeah, just 150 people sliding down a hill in a group. Like it was crazy watching the replay, but it was cool. Like surreal moment. You're riding down a glacier, racing 50 miles an hour. Like I hit 62. That was top speed, but you're going like 50 miles an hour along this traverse. There's a helicopter flying over you on one side, and then there's skiers like skiing next to you with cameras on the other side, and you're just like, dude, what am I doing? So do you have
control? I mean, you're
on the ice.
Yeah, you don't have any control.
Yeah, not much, no, because it's a 45-minute race and about 5 minutes on the snow and then 40 minutes on dirt. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have like you can't really run like spikes or anything. So, yeah, that was crazy. But I learned so much from that event, and it was funny because I did that event. My average place in the North American Series was like around 10 to 15 at the races.
Yeah.
I did that event, came back, got top 10 at a World Cup like 2 weeks later, and then I got my first podium at a national at like 3 weeks after that. So it helped me mentally so much figuring out what like I was strong at and what I was weak at.
Wow.
I never realized how hard you had to actually pedal in a race run. So I was like,
Wow.
oh, I think I'm pedaling hard, but yeah, you have to like sprint
See,
everything.
most people don't watch the whole race. Like I watched for the first time. I watched the whole race from the winner of this last year or something like that. That's the first time I watched the whole down.
Yeah.
Everybody just watches the beginning because that's the insane part. That's
And
crazy.
the bottom part is like super sick. Like I
Yeah,
think it's an 8,000 foot descent in the race run. So
that's nuts.
yeah, and then the
That's cool.
second favorite race that I
Yeah.
have, I don't know. I love racing up in Ashland, Oregon, like the Super D up there, and then
Hmm.
the enduro up there. Like the trails are so good, and they're just fun, and you kind of can zone out. You feel like you're in Star Wars on like a speeder bike, and just going through the woods at Mach 5. I love that race. So that's like one of my favorite areas in the world to ride,
Yeah.
especially after a fresh rain.
Oh yeah. Hero Dirt.
Yeah.
Get some good stuff. That's awesome. Okay, next question. Crankzilla is asking, and this is a good one, because most people that I have on, and a lot of pros and just mountain bikers, anything, come from a BMX world. Do you come from BMX?
No, I didn't actually. Yeah, I actually didn't start really riding until I was in high school.
Yeah.
I would ride around with my friends here and there and kind of play around on BMX bikes, jumping off curbs and stuff. But we lived really close to the BMX track and just couldn't afford to go. Like it was a little bit too expensive. Like I think it was $5 a night for practice, and we couldn't make that work. So
Yeah.
I'd actually only been to one BMX practice my whole life, and then after that, yeah, when I was in high school, I played football. Had a really bad coach that like made me kind of lose love for it, and I quit, and then started riding from there at 16, and
That's
then
cool.
started dirt jumping and stuff, skate park, but I didn't
Yeah.
ever really race BMX.
Okay. But you kind of have a dirt, so you got dirt jumping
Yeah, dirt jump
background in
and
there.
skate park for sure.
Do you
My
think
whole
that's
career-
really? Do you think that's really affected you in your progress? My bad.
Oh no, you're good. I don't know how I have two in here too. It looks like I have two little things. I don't know if that'll mess you up or not.
Let me just get stuff back on. No, I don't, it should be fine. Thus is live stream.
Yeah, you're brave. I've tried I think one or two of these, but it was mostly yeah, mostly just to pre-recorded or whatever. But it is cool having the people be able to chime in for sure.
Yeah, that's why I do it. Okay. Are we back? I think we're back. Start. I think we're back on. It's a 17-second delay, so yep. Let me make sure. Are we back on? Yeah, we're back on. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. Obviously, this is a live stream. This is what happens, and I'm going to. It should be back. We'll just keep it that way. So, where were we?
Mic is better too.
Yeah, that actually sounds a lot better.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Where were we at? We're getting people back. Are we good? I think we're good. Okay, so you're I hate it when that happens. It kind of gets off the flow of everything. But
No, you're just asking me about BMX and stuff.
oh yeah, BMX. When I lost you, I was asking about dirt jumping. Do you find that dirt jumping helped towards enduro?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I think it's a massive help. because for two reasons. One, because like it helps you be really, really precise.
Yeah.
And so like you have to know how much to pull on each jump and how to backside stuff and pump. And then the other reason is just because when you're hitting like big dirt jumps, stuff on the trail looks a lot less scary. Like you kind of get accustomed to these big jumps.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, okay. But yeah, I love dirt jumping. And I was gonna say before we cut out, like my whole criminal record has been from riding my bike at dirt jumps and skate parks or like digging dirt jumps. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was the cool thing about mountain biking is you don't have to worry about the cops as much, and that's why I got really into it because I started to get in trouble a lot, like going to the skate park, and
Yeah.
just because it was a no bike skate park, but I still needed something to do, so we try to ride it.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I have no BMX background at all. The most BMX background that I have is I bought a BMX magazine in the airport one time. I wanted to dirt jump so bad, but never did. I was too
Yeah.
afraid to break something. So,
I broke this collarbone 4 times dirt jumping. So
wow, dude. No, I'm good. I haven't broken any bones, and I'm gonna never broken a bone, and
no way.
no, I've done stupid things that I probably should have broken, and it never happened.
impressive.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm a big guy too, so it's real weird. That's never happened. Real quick, everybody, make sure you're. I'm seeing there's 4 viewers, so make sure you're back on. Send a little message. Type some more questions out. We got Octodad, MTB Marty Richards asks, what, that's awesome, Octodad, what advice would, I wonder if he gave birth to them, like Octomom. What advice would you give for teaching beginners mountain biking?
The advice, did it kind of phrase it in the way of like, what advice would you give as a coach trying to teach mountain bikers stuff? Just advice from me, like what I would say to beginner mountain bikers.
Do both.
Okay, so I would say number one thing, if you're a beginner and you're wanting to get better, the number one thing is practice fundamentals. Like, and it sounds really lame, but literally go to a basketball court and practice braking, practice your brake control, coming to a stop without skidding, practice all your turn drills like we did in the cornering part 1 video. Dude, I spent so many hours at a basketball court,
Yeah.
and that is why like I was able to race at a high level, because I used to practice doing 10 pedal strokes in a sprint, unclip, skid to a stop, clip back in, pedal 10 pedal strokes, and I would just do laps around the basketball hoops. And then when you're at a race and you come through a corner or something and you unclip, you just put it back on, muscle memory, and then sprint away.
That's awesome.
So people don't see that stuff. They're like, I want to get better. It's like, well, just go spend 2 or 3 hours just doing like these stupid dorky little drills, and it'll make you a lot better. If you're someone who wants to help coach another beginner mountain biker, I would say biggest thing is like slow-mo video is your friend. So what we'll do a lot is like take a video of someone on their iPhone. If you have an iPhone, slow-mo, 120 FPS, watch it back and just kind of look for those little things that they may be doing wrong, look for weight balance issues. And that's been like such a huge key for sure. And that's kind of what like really helps April learn a lot, is playing back the video in slow-mo and kind of pointing out, hey, look
perfect.
at this looks really good, but this doesn't look so good. So
That's awesome. So what do you're amazing at teaching. Like, you're really good at teaching. How do you feel you like racing better, or do you like teaching better? Because you're I mean, obviously you're good at both, but your YouTube channel is really progressing towards that teaching. Do you like that better, or what do you want to do?
that's a good question. Honestly, like in 2015, no, 16, sorry, 2016, I just won like, second national title. I'm like, dude, this is top of the world. Come back, and I've been working on building like a public pump track for my hometown.
Yeah.
So in Chico, California, public pump track, and the grand opening was like a week or 2 after I won my second big national title. It's top of the world, felt like a stud. And then you go to the pump track opening, and like, we did the ribbon cutting ceremony with the whole city council and everything there.
Yeah.
And seeing all the little kids there and just all the people like smiling and having fun, it like zapped all of my motivation for racing that day, because I realized how much time I was putting into something that was a selfish pursuit versus something that was like a bigger pursuit.
Yeah.
And at that point I was like, man, this is gonna be hard to race anymore, because I was like, why am I training? Why am I putting all this time into something that only benefits myself?
Yeah.
Versus if you put time into other things. So to answer that question, I think that like I enjoy teaching and doing the videos more because I think it reaches more people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a better use of my time. So if you're going to be spending a lot of time on something, you might as well have it help people
Yeah.
versus just help yourself.
You got that, and you can see it in your videos too. You really are humble towards it and really selfless. You wanna help people, and when your girlfriend does it, I know you're recording, you're editing and all that kind of stuff, but you can really tell you're happy. You're happy she did it.
Yeah.
So
No, I love it, dude. I tell her all the time, like I get way more stoked riding with her and
Yeah.
seeing her progress than I do riding fast. Like I don't know, I love riding fast, but I don't really like riding by myself anymore. I'm kind of like, I've done it a bunch. Like I'd rather go out and ride and stoke someone out. And even
Yeah.
if we go to the bike park, like a lot of times we'll go to the Boise Bike Park Friday evening, like post a video Friday afternoon, go to the bike park in the evening, kind of decompress, and I'll still like go out and help people try to hit new jumps or do this.
That's
and that.
awesome.
Like I don't care. I've already achieved all my goals with racing. Like I don't care at all. I'm done kind of. I just want to
Yeah.
do it for fun, and it's cool to still like be somewhat fast at it. Like I like it, but I don't have any grander, plans. I'm kind of like, The risk is so high now. Those guys are so fast and they put in so much work, and I'm not willing to put in that much time for that because I want to do things that help other people. That's
totally cool, and you can see it too. Like I think it cracks me up every time. She'll do it. She'll do something like when she did the nose wheelie, and she did it. You're like, oh, that was awesome, good job. And all she did was get just a little bit up. And she's like, thanks. You can.
It's true though, like, dude, I don't know. It's just fun. It's cool to see people like. The goal for all this stuff is get people a healthy outlet.
Yeah.
It's #1 goal. Like my whole life, I've watched people in my family. My brother was a meth addict for a long time. My mom was a drug addict. She's depressed her whole life. Like, tried to kill herself a few times. I've been super depressed multiple times in my life. And for me, the #1 saving grace at first was football. Like I loved football. And then when I had that coach that made me kind of lose that passion, I was so lost. And for a minute there, it was like really gnarly. And then I found biking and kind of just dove in, attached to the bike, and just kind of rode that through the rest of my life. And I want to be able to help people get stoked. And those little tiny bites of like stoke, where you're just like, oh, you got up like 3 inches on a nose wheelie. You're like, that's sick. And that's kind of the stuff that would hook me and got me into this outlet that's opened so many doors.
That's awesome.
I can't believe it. We've had like a couple like Fortune 500 tech CEO guys DM me like the past few weeks, like, hey, love your videos, like just getting in mountain biking. And you're like, I'm talking to like a $10 million+ net worth guy, and who's like, just, hey, nice videos or something.
I like your videos.
Kid from Chico. Like it's so fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's awesome. That's totally cool. It's amazing, how doing what you love and sharing it with people can really change people's lives. I mean, it's a cool experience. You're experiencing it up front right there.
Totally. And like, dude, some of the messages that we get from people are like insane, like literally insane. Like people will be like, hey, I just want to say thank you. My wife and I have been struggling for years, and because of this channel, she's gotten inspired to ride because of April, and now we have a strong relationship, like more than ever, and we've fallen in love again. And you're like, all I did was make a wheelie video.
Jeez,
like,
dude, yeah.
But you're like, it's so crazy how much sometimes that little like tap in the pond kind of spreads the ripples so far.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've been like really appreciative of, and it makes it exciting to try to do more. But dude, the bandwidth that it's been taking lately is like, it's so crazy. And I've been like, I honestly burnt myself out pretty bad pushing too hard. And so we took a couple weeks off, I recharged, then got burnt out again. And then I'm kind of like on the mend mentally. So it's been crazy, like trying to put all these pieces together. But I think once April can jump in and do more full time, then we'll be able to be sustainable and continue to just keep doing this. So
that's super cool.
It's been crazy. I like, for people that don't know, we've been trying to connect on Instagram, and I fully had to like just delete my Instagram off my phone because it's been like just distracting a little bit, and I'm just like, man, I just need to focus on priority #1, which is like try to do videos, like just keep doing that, and everything else good will follow. And so it's been hard to like just dial in all that stuff while still trying to bridge this gap where April can like quit her job safely and do this full time. Yeah. So it's been gnarly. I feel like I've had to double or triple my value like to make this happen.
Well, that's cool because you're seeing yourself, touch thousands of people's lives, and you don't realize it, like what your little things here or there that you do in life is actually affecting so many
Totally.
people. That's totally cool.
Even like with your podcast, you think about like sometimes you'll think like, oh man, I got a few hundred views, like that's really cool, but it would be sick to have thousands. But you're like,
Yeah.
dude, a few hundred views, like that's a few hundred people that you have
Yeah.
you're touching directly. Like that's
Exactly.
really crazy. If you think about like a gathering of a few hundred people, what that looks like a school classroom's 30 people. Like
I just want to have. I'm just having fun. I like to talk mountain biking. I'm not anywhere good at mountain biking. I think I got last place in my enduro race this past weekend. I don't care. I'm having a blast doing it, and I get to meet new people. That's what it's all about now. I want to share my happiness with people. So, and if I have a standing block right here with my channel, and I can help somebody that's watching get to know another channel, I think it's cool. That's what I want to do. I just want to help people. So, but that's what you're
really
doing.
cool.
That's what you're doing,
Yeah.
and that's totally cool to me. That's totally awesome. That's exactly what I think and I think that's another reason why your channel is expanding is because you're actually helping people. You're not just thinking, hey, someone give me another 1,000 subscribers so I can make another extra $30. It's not like that.
No, not at all. And that's kind of been the whole thing. Like even one of the things that I think people don't realize is like maybe people don't realize it up front, but like for me, we decided intentionally to have no ads like in the middle of the videos at all, like 0 ads, because we want people to be able to like skip around and come back to it and watch uninterrupted. And like kind of, what if you're in a classroom and your teacher's telling you something, they're like, hey, by the way, buy Diet Coke, and you're kind of like like so we're foregoing like quite a bit of revenue, especially because I think we had like 4 or 5 million views in that like last month or something. So
that's awesome.
Like we're foregoing so much revenue because we want to have people have a better experience with the videos, and I think that's why they're rewarding us with subscribers. Like because it is just a transaction. Like at the end of the day, like we provide a video, which is a service. Someone finds value in that, they want to reward you for that value, and they give you a like or a subscribe, and you're like, that was awesome. Like we just had it's 2 ways, 2-way street. So I don't think a lot of people think about it that way, but why is someone going to spend their time to watch your content?
Yeah, and that's what I think it's starting to go to. More people want that comfort of knowing they're not the only ones. They're not by themselves. So that's totally cool. I think we're having issues with the chat. People aren't chatting, but keep trying. I'm sorry if you can't ask your questions. I'll keep asking questions, and hopefully I'll ask your question. So April, what is her... this is about you, but what you guys both your same channel together. What's her background? Does she have a mountain biking background, or like when you guys? I mean, she works for what do you say, Fly?
Yeah. Fly. So her background, she's a little bit older than me, and so she raced motocross for years, like ever since she was 16.
That's right.
So I think she was usually 11th overall in the nation for motocross, like year after year after year. So basically top 10 girl in the nation for women's motocross. She went to X Games, did some really cool stuff there. Like, so she's like bad on a dirt bike. Like that's awesome. She's way better than me on a dirt bike.
That's awesome.
I'll like watch her on the track hit like a 90-foot step up jump, and you're like, okay, cool. Like I'm not doing that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, when we started hanging out, she was actually looking at getting a bike. And I was in like 2016 or 17, and she's like, hey, I want to buy a bike. What do you think? And I was passing through town. I'm like, well, talk to her for a little bit. And we went up to that thing, kind of hit it off more. But yeah, she had never ridden a mountain bike really. And when I bought her one for her birthday, and we started riding it, she had fun. She was really bummed that she wasn't able to like keep up with the group because like just pedaling. So I got an e-bike for her, and then she started riding the e-bike a ton with our group and like loved it and had fun. Spent a full year on the e-bike, and then has now transitioned into like the normal bike as her fitness has grown. Yeah, it's been really cool. But yeah,
that's cool.
Like, it's been crazy to watch her progress, and it's funny because like the first thing that I taught her was how to jump, just because I'm scared of her like wrecking. Yeah. And so that was number one, and then all the other skills, like I'm traveling all summer usually, so we don't get to hang out in the summer very much, and then in the winter I'm home. And so yeah, this year we kind of got to hang out because of COVID, and it was like, hey, like you want to learn how to wheelie or bunny hop or whatever? And she's like, yeah, I would love to. So that's where it came from. And people were like, well, she already knew how to ride. Like, why is she learning these skills? And you're like, well, actually, you can know how to ride a bike and then never practice skills. Like they're kind of two different things. So it's been fun because she's like legitimately been getting so much better.
That's awesome. That's totally cool. Yeah, and your channel was originally just Kyle Warner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then they just started kicking off, and you're like, I guess I got to bring her in and put her in the put her in the title. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, I don't know, people. Yeah, no one really asked us to do that, but it just felt kind of like, all right, well, if I try to just continue this to be my thing, featuring April, that's not fair because
Yeah.
she's like what more than half of the thing, you know? And so it's kind of like, yeah, it's Kyle and April like together. Like we do this together, and then if I want to do another channel, I can do that and kind of reboot that and do my own tech things, and she can do her things. But this channel is like us, so. Really
See, that's a cool thing too. Once you get to the point where you're at, you can kind of open up another channel and progress that too. You get it's enough numbers of people that you can grow it pretty quickly too. So
yeah, and it's crazy like with YouTube. I don't know. I love YouTube for the fact that like organic growth can happen, and I don't know. It's just so cool. If you like literally all you have to do is make probably about three. I think you need 3 good videos in a row, and then they feed off each other, and then you just take off. So like I see a lot of people do like 1 good video, 1 okay video, 1 good video, 1 okay video, and so if you can like get 3 really good ones, and it's like good video, good video, good video, they like boost themselves, and you just grow a lot. So that was kind of like our strategy, and then we did, like I said, 12 weeks, I think, just like pinned full on, and then we had to take a little bit of time off, and it definitely like slowed the growth curve a little bit. And so we're totally fine with that. Like the goal wasn't to grow. Our goal is in 3 years to have like 10,000 subscribers. So that was like our goal, but we didn't think it would happen so fast. So we're like just stoked on it. And yeah, I would just love for April to not have to work for someone else, and she could just do it full time with us.
So where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself continue to race, or do you see this taking over for you, the channel?
Oh man, I don't even know. Like I think it'll just be kind of what I've always done, is just find what I really care about and just go in that direction. And so right now I really care about this, and I have, like I said, 40 of those videos that we want to try to knock off, see where that takes us. And then I'm super passionate about like finance and tech and all this stuff, and so maybe one day I'd have like a channel kind of more oriented towards that, like just some fun interviews and stuff. Like I love that stuff. So
Yeah.
like I'm a huge like cryptocurrency dude, all that kind of weird stuff, and so it's kind of fun. Like I really enjoy that aspect of things, and I could see maybe going that direction or doing like I would love one day as I'm older to do some local politics, because of doing that whole like pump track build in Chico. I learned so much, and it was really, really rewarding. And same within Boise, like I helped do a bike park last year, so
Yeah.
I could totally see doing something like that. And I don't know, I just want to be in a position where like have not have to stress about money too much, and just be able to do what I really care about. So this will be fun to see where this goes, and maybe we can bring people in to help us as we grow.
That's awesome. As long as you keep that mindset of helping people with you, you'll get there. That's awesome.
For sure. Yeah. And I think it's, I don't know.
You could always start a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, do Herbalife.
There you go.
No, like we definitely have like a bunch of like pretty big aspirational goals for the next 3 to 4 years, and a lot of people that we've been meeting recently have been like super motivated to help. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity, especially like just once you're talking to such a big volume of people. It's kind of like there's always opportunity to do something cool. So just play it by ear, focus on one thing, work at it. Whenever that becomes like something you're not passionate about, just split off and do something new.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was with racing too. If I was just grinding, putting my head to the wall, like trying to race still, we wouldn't have the YouTube opportunity.
Yeah. I'm always like, if this stops getting fun, doing these YouTube what are the used tubes videos, or the live streams right here, if it gets boring or not even fun anymore, then I'm just gonna, there's no point in doing it. If you're not having fun doing it, then find something else. But that's awesome.
Well, it's hard too, like it's hard to realize sometimes when something's like not fun temporarily, or when something's like actually like I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people don't realize how to push through like this sucks right now. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
That's where I've been like the past 2 weeks, just like from just fatigue and stress, like trying to, not necessarily doing the videos, but just trying to bridge this gap where it's like, all right, how do we make this safe so April can quit the job she's been at for 10 years and like I can be like, hey, let's do this, and she's taking a huge risk and trying to trust me. So I feel like I have all that weight on my back, and that's been stressful, but it's happening. This is like scary.
But
So I'm like,
the
this isn't
different
fun right now, but it will be.
that's exactly it right there. The difference is when you're done and over with it. Are you happy with what you did? Are you excited and ready to do another one? Like I remember yesterday, I'm like 3/4 of the way through the race, and I'm dying. I want to stop, like because there's so much climbing up to the stages. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But when I finished the race, I was like, oh, that was awesome. I want to do another one. I want to sign up for another one. Once you know you're done and you're still excited about it, that's when you know you can continue doing it. But
Totally.
yeah,
And I've made the mistake of like, they say never quit, and sometimes you're like, dude, this sucks so bad, I'm gonna quit. And like I've made that mistake like maybe 2 times in my life where I'm in a race and I'm so over it and so done with it. Like in Chile, we had to do 130 miles of transfers over 4 days on bikes, and I was like, I'm so done with this, like I just want to quit. And basically I kind of like didn't pull out of the race, but just kind of mailed it in. I'm like, I'm done, I'm just gonna go slow and try to figure this out, get done. And I always regret those moments, but once you get done with something and you reflect, you're like, do I still want to move forward? Then you can make that decision. But it sucks quitting in the middle of a project for sure.
I did that on my first XC race. I quit right halfway through it, and
that's fair. They always say never quit. You're like, dude, sometimes I guess I'm just weak, because sometimes I've done that like 2 times, I think, where I'm just like, man, I can't keep going. Or you have a huge mechanical and you're like, I'm gonna pull out, I'm not walking for 6 miles.
Yeah, exactly.
I know some people just say just go for it, and I'm trying to get better at that.
When I quit that race, I know I had excuses and all that stuff, and the saying is everybody has excuses, just like butt cracks, and they all stink. It's true. There's always an excuse for it, but I regret stopping, but at the same time, I'm not so upset about it because I'm still doing it. I'm still racing. I'm still riding. So I didn't completely quit. Just that I lost that battle.
Yeah,
that
totally.
was it.
Yeah, you have to think of everything like that long-term plan for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. Well, let's get some normal questions, like on a normal YouTube stuff. What for mountain biking? What are you riding? I'm sure we have issue with chat. No one can type in any chats right now. Sorry about that, everybody. But what are you riding right now? What are your bikes?
We're working with Niner bikes right now.
Okay.
And so I have a Niner Rip 9, which is like a 140 mil travel, 29-inch wheeled trail bike.
Okay.
And then April's on the same bike, but 27.5 wheels. So we love those things. Like they've been super rad. That's been like kind of like no joking. Like this has been one of my favorite bikes I've ever owned, just because they have like a really cool front triangle with like this rib cage.
Yeah.
And it makes the front end so precise. So it took me like 2 weeks to figure out how to ride it. And I had carbon wheels on it, and I actually had to take the carbon wheels off because it was too stiff. And so I went to like aluminum wheels. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull this off, see what's up, and then that bike just came alive. So
wow.
I love that bike. It's been sick.
That's totally cool. But only 140? You got 140
in the rear. I think I have a 154.
Are you starting to see more and more enduro bikes? That's their enduro one, right? It's kind of
it's like their trail bike, but like that's like what most people would have the most fun on. And then like there is some other bigger stuff in the works, like bigger bikes, 170, 180, something in that range, and those bikes are cool to own, but they're not fun to ride all the time. It's kind of like it's too good.
It's like taking a downhill bike out to hit the trails.
Especially out here, like some of the people that ride a lot, they actually just ride cross bikes because they're like, well, I just want to make the trails gnarlier than they are, because like we have smooth trails.
That's normal down here in Florida. I got an enduro bike, and everybody's like, that's just too much for it. I'm like, well, I'm having fun on it. Ride your XC bikes. You guys are having a blast. Just do whatever's having fun for you.
I think people just change it up as they get bored with the trails too. Like you got to change it up sometimes.
Yeah. It's fun to go really fast at times and whatnot. But do you kind of see the enduro bikes kind of going with less travel nowadays?
Man, I don't know. I feel like the full enduro race bikes that people are racing on are almost always like in that 170 range.
Yeah.
Like 170 to 180. But like I said, those aren't really fun to ride, and so I see a lot of the shorter racer guys going to like a 140 29er,
Yeah.
and then the taller guys do like 170 29er. But it's hard to ride like a 170 29 when you're shorter. Like
Yeah.
I'm 5'11", and I have a really hard time on those bikes because I like hit my butt on the tire so much.
On your 29er, yeah.
170, yeah.
Yeah. See, I really like my 29er. I will not go back to a 27 again.
No, I won't either. But that's just kind of the hard thing is like I have to kind of be around 140 mil travel to get
Yeah.
away with like not hitting my butt on all the time.
Yeah. I don't hit my butt. I'm 6'4" almost. So,
Are you really?
Yeah. So I don't get it.
It's hard to tell how tall people are while you're sitting down on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a big dude. I don't know if you ever heard of Mark Chance. Mark Chance has another YouTube channel. We went riding the other day, and I ride a size large bike. I like that little more flickability, but it might be a little small. But I look huge on it. I look like I'm riding a clown bike at times, and so yeah, I don't look that big on camera, but I'm a big guy. I need to lose a little extra around here, but I'm just extremely tall. Let's see, what time is it? We got about 10 more minutes almost. This went by really fast. So your channel, are you gonna stick with the? I know that's a big breeze for you, having 40 extra ideas for instructionals that you're coming out with. That's like a big
like
but
a year's worth.
yeah, so that's a relief. You don't have to really think about it, and that's the one thing that kind of slows down a lot of YouTubers is you can't think of new stuff to bring out. But you got 40 things. What do you see yourself doing after that? Are you gonna come up with new instructional ideas, or are you gonna do you see progressions elsewhere?
Yeah, we definitely have like a kind of longer term plan for sure laid out, and so it'll be cool. Like we'll try to do all the instructional stuff and like how-tos and basically all these value-based ones first and see where that takes us. But hopefully by that point people kind of I don't know, just be kind of connected to us and want to follow along, and we could do some more stuff that's just like fun traveling.
But then April's gonna get her own channel. Well, got her own channel and is gonna really start progressing on that, and then
yeah, I'm excited for her on that
That's
too
awesome.
because like I said, like I don't know, she's such a rad person, and I think once people can kind of see her like on her own and get to know her, I feel like April has way more potential to be famous than me. Like I feel like she would be like, she's gonna do really well, I think. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited for her.
That's awesome, dude.
I tell her, I'm like, you're gonna have to be the breadwinner for the house.
It's okay. It's okay. You can just have fun and be you. So it's
I'll
okay.
Be the supportive cameraman.
There you go. There you go. That's totally cool. And you really are. That's that. Like I already said before, you're really supportive, and that just kind of hit me with watching your channel. Made me like your channel that much more. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been cool, and it's all like honest. Like I actually am really stoked for her, and so it's been really cool, and it's just fun to have like a riding buddy too that I can go with all the time, and then we can like just hang out. Now she like is always right there, or if I follow her, she's like, I'm kind of like, oh, slow down a little bit, like it's scary with the camera on, like doing GoPro stuff. Like, dude, you're going so fast. So
that's so cool.
Last week was the first time I ever had to be like, hey, could you like slow down a little bit in like a few of these sections, because I'm like having a hard time keeping up.
Yeah.
It was cool.
But you got your best friend riding next to you. That's what's the coolest thing, is having that, and you can see her progression, she can see your progression, and you can talk about it the whole way home, and no one's getting annoyed. That's totally cool.
Yeah, it's been cool. I feel bad for her though, because sometimes she looks up to like on Instagram all the clips of all these like pro girls, and she always gets bummed out. She's like, man, I suck. I'm like, you can't always look that far ahead. You just gotta like do your own thing, keep getting better, and I don't know, it's kind of funny because she's like gets bummed on herself sometimes. I'm like, don't be bummed, like you're doing so good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, you got to make sure you post her after this is all done and it's posted up on YouTube. Go down in the comments and post her the link for her YouTube channel so we can all go check it out.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. So I like to kind of close out a lot of times. Do you have a closing line that you share with people at the end? Do you have like a closing out word on your videos?
Oh, like when people have like a
slogan or
kind
whatever.
of a go-to, yeah.
Yeah.
like Peter McKinnon, like what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
No, we don't actually. I think the biggest thing that we've been trying to like really communicate to people is that we want everyone to feel like they're kind of part of our crew.
Yeah.
And just like part of the group, and everyone's in this together. And so that's kind of one thing we just like to say is like, thank you guys for being a part of everything. It's been really cool. So we can't believe it, honestly. Like, it was never the plan, like at all. And so the whole goal was just like, oh, maybe I'll have a YouTube channel to supplement the racing. And then now COVID happened. Let's do some how-tos. And then it started to grow. And it's like, oh, wow, this might be like an opportunity, especially for April, who's been sitting at a desk 8 to 5 for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, to get her out into the wild more and travel. Like, she's never been to Europe. She hasn't been able to travel like very much. And so I think this will be a really cool opportunity where maybe we can do this project together.
Did you ever see yourself getting to this level?
Man, I think you always have to like have a goal, like somewhere deep in the subconscious. Like, it wasn't really like, oh, I want to be X amount, or I want to get 100,000 subscribers or whatever. But you always have to kind of be like, I think that we could do this. So it's like a quiet confidence, I guess you'd say. Like, I know that if these other people can do it, then I can figure it out too. But yeah, it just takes the right niche and the right mentality, I think, the right goal.
That's totally awesome. So did you get to your little silver plaque? How long ago did you hit 100,000?
I think we did it last month, like right. Oh, it was actually like a day or two before my birthday, which is really cool.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, like, yeah, we did. We had like a countdown, and we had 16,000 subscribers left to go, and it was 16 days to my birthday. And so we like posted it out there. We're like, come on, let's do it. And then we got there like a day or two early, so it was really cool.
Did you sit there and watch it hit 100,000 and then drop down to 900?
We did a live stream, actually. It was funny because it got stuck at 99999, you know?
Yeah.
And we're like, refresh, and it was the same. And then refresh was the same. I think we did it like 4 times, and finally it was like 107. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel like I have a problem sometimes because like those moments, I'm so used to like at races, you're like, okay, cool, I won. All right, we're driving to the next race. And like, it kind of was, I almost feel bad because we didn't get to like really, or I didn't do it.
You didn't enjoy it.
Savoring it, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's that memory.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like every time we look at it, like we just have it in the living room right now. And when I look at it, I'm like, man, that's so crazy to think that that's more people than the whole town I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, it's really cool. And it makes me excited to do more, but it's just kind of like, I don't know if it's just like the, you know, mentality that we have now today with like social media and everything, but it's kind of like, all right, on to the next thing. And I need to get better about like just being happy with each of those individual moments for longer.
Yeah, savoring that memory. I know with my kids, you know, they're growing up so fast. This is your kid. It grows so fast. You got to remember that moment so you can always look back to it and enjoy it. Well, it has been an awesome hour. I know we lost everybody there for a little bit there, and the chat still seems to be broken. So, you know what I say every single time, guys. Make sure you lift up God, lift up life, lift up the adventure. Get out there, make your own adventures. Go check out Kyle and April's YouTube channel. It is awesome. Their link is down in the description below. Dude, Kyle, thank you so much for hopping on and finally getting to do this after I don't know how long we've been trying to do this, but
I know it's hard, dude. I'm sorry that it took
a dude, don't apologize. You're a busy man. It's hard
for me to plan more than like a week in advance.
Yeah, I find that because I mean I have these planned for. I mean, I think I just got another one for November. I think I got one in November. I just planned, so I got it planned out, and people are like, well, I don't know what I'm going to be doing at that time. I'm like, I understand, but I like to progress. I'm one of those that likes to put it on the calendar and just plan it out. But we got it done. It's good.
Super admirable. I wish I had that skill more. But yeah, I'm always like, okay, what are we doing tomorrow? Okay, let's figure it out. And then
that's my wife.
Really?
Yeah, my wife wants to go. Can we go over tonight? Can we go over hang out with him tonight? Well, I wanted to do that. I wanted to plan that the other day. Well, I didn't know if I wanted to. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's go. But yeah, that's hilarious. Well, dude, again, thank you so much. Everybody, go check out Kyle Warner's YouTube channel. It's awesome. He does some awesome instructional videos on there, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. God bless.